I request all the candidates graduated to the various degrees to kindly stand up. I invite Father Chancellor to confer admission of degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor of Christ University, I hereby admit you to the various degrees, having been examined, certified, and approved by Christ University under the Deanery of Science, Faculty of Engineering, and the School of Education. I prevail on you that ever in your life and conversation you show yourselves worthy of the degree awarded.
Please remain standing. In your convocation ceremonial handbook, please turn to page 7. Page 7 for the graduation pledge. I request Professor Nanji Gowda, Dean of Science, to administer the pledge.
Please keep your right palm close to your heart and repeat after me. As a graduate of Christ University, I promise to uphold the dignity, honor, and prestige of this university. I will conduct myself with honesty and integrity, taking responsibility for my action and respecting the rights, opinions, and dignity of all. I will cherish the core values inculcated in me in this temple of learning and will uphold them in the journey of my life. I will use my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability for the advancement of learning, for the well-being of the community, and for public good. I will strive to create a better society with a sense of fairness, social justice, and an environmental responsibility. I will follow the path of righteousness with respect to all ethical considerations to prove myself a worthy citizen of my country. As I leave the portals of my alma mater, I promise to carry on the good tradition that I belong to in whatever I do, strengthened by the mission and guided by the vision of excellence and service. I take this pledge by reaffirming my faith in God Almighty, who will always be my guiding spirit.
You may please be seated. To be awarded a degree from Christ University entails dedicated endeavor. When you joined us, you were told that at Christ, learning and education is a partnership of mutual commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, to the development of expertise and skills, and to embrace appropriate values and attitudes. Your graduation this morning is a testimony that you have fulfilled your side of the partnership. We are honored and privileged to have Dr. Sudha Murthy, a gold medalist, a philanthropist, social worker, and a great writer as a chief guest on this solemn occasion. I request Dr. Sudha Murthy to deliver the convocation address.
Distinguished people on dais, parents and my dear students. When they introduce me, they introduce other things which I really don't bother. I was a teacher here, they never introduced that. That's very dear to my heart. I'm a teacher, and my father was a professor, and I'm a daughter-in-law of another teacher. The odd man out is my husband, who is not in teaching. It gives me immense pleasure to come back to college because I really like to teach students, and whatever little I know, I want to impart because that's the best way to carry on the tradition. And that's the reason in Indian tradition we say, first is mother is most important, then father, then comes teacher. Acharya Devo Bhava. Teacher, you are the most important person in one's life. When I look at students and there's a mic, until the next bell rings, I would have loved to talk. But today, I know it's a convocation speech and I really cannot do that. I taught here for 5-6 years computer science, and then I became more irregular than my own students. Then I said, no, let me not teach now. The difference between a teacher and a student, I always feel, is we have more gray hair, but knowledge-wise, both of us are equal, but we have more experience and patience, and you have less. And that's very natural for your age. You are entering into a new stage in your life where there are no syllabus. There is no examination. There are no probable questions. You know, I know, as a student, we used to do that, take 3 years question paper, solve, and which has come last year will not come next year. You can predict that, which you cannot do in real life. As a student, you always say, okay, I will sit down and study myself and I will excel. Yes, you can do, but in real life, you can't do that. You have to work in a team. Whenever we, at Infosys HR policies we always tell, always find out a person who plays in a cricket than a tennis. Tennis is only, I will excel myself, whereas in a cricket, you have to, it's a teamwork. I've seen brightest of the students not doing very well in real life because they do not know how to get along well with people. Getting along well with people does not mean that whatever they say you should accept. You should accept every person is imperfect. That's what I want to tell you. You are getting into a new life where the rules of success is so different than in college. College is one part of life, but it is not the same way in real life. You have to accept every flower is beautiful, but every flower is different. Every human being is imperfect, and you have to accept that. And then you have to learn to adjust with people. If you do not adjust, it is very hard to be very successful in life. Many people ask me, oh, you must be having a life of road of roses because you have been successful in so many ways. And you always got success in life, so it is easy for you to talk. Actually, that's really not true. The most successful person is the one who converts every failure as a step in the ladder of the success. Please understand, I had many failures in life, many failures. And every failure, I learned something so that I should not repeat it next time. I used to tell my students when I used to teach, please do make mistakes. People who walk, they only fall. Please do make mistake. But don't make the same mistake next time. Every mistake you should learn. I used to ask my students, I taught you many things. I do meet my students sometimes. They're more successful than me. I meet them on Brigade Road at times in 4th Block, Jayanagar Complex. I ask them, children, I taught you many things, management, decision making. I used to teach computer science actually. Database management, then C++. Tell me, what do you remember? After 10 years, I ask, when I meet them, 10, 15 years. They tell, ma'am, we don't remember what you taught, but we remember your stories because When there's 1 hour of teaching, about 10 minutes I used to tell always a story of my experience, story which made me strong, story which gave me confidence in crisis. And all of them, whenever I meet, they said, we remember your story. And that makes me very happy, because you can always learn subject by many methods. Experience cannot be taught like that. Experience is the best teacher, but extremely expensive teacher. So, we say in 12th century, there was a very famous poet in Kannada, Someshwara, he tells, because many people cannot understand, otherwise I would have recited the original. He says, in life, if you want to learn a lot, you have to learn in different ways, like many rivers make an ocean. Similarly, many avenues make you a learned person. It is a few you have to learn by your own mistakes, few by observing someone else's mistake, a few from reverend teachers, great teachers, few from books, few from elders' experience. There are many ways you can learn in life, and that person is the brightest. People say, like when you are very successful, I will always say, repeated success makes a person arrogant. That's the reality in life. I have seen people who are extremely successful are extremely arrogant, and they lose contact of the ground reality, and then they meet a great defeat. When you fall from the highest height, it is the greatest defeat. And please remember that repeated success makes a person arrogant. Repeated failures makes a person diffident, because the person will not take any risk. I don't know I will be successful or not. It is occasional failure, and good rate of success makes a person very mature. And that's the reason I have been very mature, because I had my share of unpleasant things, a share of failures. And every failure told me, look, you have a limitation. Where did I go wrong? I go on checking where did I go wrong. Sometimes by my wrong judgment I go wrong. Sometimes I feel overconfidence makes me wrong. Sometimes, without understanding the other person, I have made a wrong decision. Please understand, you should remember in life that this is a lifelong examination with no set question paper, no syllabus, and every day you have an examination and you have to be successful most of the time. How will you do that? When you go to a war, you should know with whom you have to fight, what are the skills you should have. When you go to examination, you know what all you have to study. Similarly, when you enter into real life, you must learn certain things. And this is what I have learned with great experience. You must have patience. The first thing is you should have patience. People nowadays particularly, people do not have patience. To some extent, the structure has changed, because parents have only 2 children or 1 child. So whatever the child requires, parents give away. And the child doesn't understand how to share and how to wait. And I also blame to some extent IT industry, because working with computers for a long time, we all become like computers. Press a button, get the reply. Press a button, get the reply. So all these things will not teach us patience. But if you have open mind, you understand, with patience you can do a lot in life. And to have patience, you should have understanding. To have understanding, you should respect other person. Please respect every person whomsoever you meet, because every person is so different. Every person has some plus and some minuses. There is nobody who is perfect. There is nothing imperfect in life. You look at the moon, it is not perfect. You look at Yamuna river, there are black cobras. You go to Ganga, Ganga is a great current. You look at our own country, 150 kilometers, when you travel in our own country, the culture changes, the language changes, the food habit change. So our country is not a country, it is a continent. India is a continent. And when you work with different people, different culture baggage they bring, different language, different etiquettes, you should try to understand instead of getting upset. This helps you a lot. You must love your job. Whatever job you do, you must love. I have learned in my life that I never planned so much. I should be so and so, and I should get all this, nothing. Whatever opportunity, God has given an opportunity to work, let it be as a writer, as a teacher. Teacher was quite popular, maybe because I never used to take attendance. That could be the reason, I suppose. As a teacher, I was very popular in a class, because I understood what my students really require. Not only the the subject, along with subject, something useful in their life. Whatever opportunity I got in real life, I always accepted it, saying that this is the best opportunity God has given me. Let me excel in that. Let it be a social work or be a, at my working at Infosys or working as a teacher or writing a book or books or novels, whatever that. Everything I convert that into an opportunity to learn better, and passionately I follow it. If you do not have passion, any amount of degree, any amount of marks will not help you. Please have passion for the job which you do. If you dislike your job, say, somehow I have to go and do, you will never excel. You think everything is an opportunity to learn and convert that as your asset or skill. When you go to a hotel, you order for a thali meal, you get many katoris in that. It is a sabji, it's a dal, it is yogurt or curd, it is a dessert, it is sambar, rasam, etc. and chapati and rice. I used to look at it and I used to say, it's fine. Once I realized what it means, our body requires a complete meal. You may like rice, but you cannot just eat white rice. You require sambar, rasam and dal. You may like chapati, but you just cannot eat chapati. You require sabji, yogurt and dal, whatever it is. That is our life. In life, if you want to be successful, there are many katoris like that. Hard work, intelligence, compassion, integrity, respecting the alma mater, respecting the college, respecting teachers, respecting our parents who are sitting there. Every parent must have put enormous amount of time for your upbringing. It is your whimsical way of talking at times, hurting parents at times you must have done. Don't tell me you are not done. I know everybody has done some time or other time. And parents bear it. They always wish you the best. Everything is free. Nothing is free in life except mother's love. Or parents' unconditional love. They have given you so much. That is a katori. And you have to return that to your children and to your parents and to your college. I always feel it's a duty of every student to give back to the society in one or other way. You have to look after your parents. You have to look after your family. You have to give a certain part of your income, time, or service to the society, and certain part to your alma mater. I'm always very grateful to my alma mater. There is a small college in Karnataka. Today it's a well-known college. I joined engineering 44 years back. And that time actually, 46 years back actually, to be very honest, 1968. At that time there were no girls in the university. I was the only girl. And that college, the very first day I said, how will I work in this, study in this college? There are no girls at all. But that college gave me so much confidence in life, strength in life, and boldness in difficulties, and accepting what it is than living in imagination. I'm always grateful to my college, that is BVB College of Engineering in Hubli. And when God was kind to me and He gave me some money, I went back and built a college. Our college said, nothing, we don't want anything from you, you come and address our students. I said, no, I have a duty towards my college. Lecture hall complex in the memory of my father who was a teacher. What I'm telling you is that we have that duty towards alma mater. Today Harvard College runs not because of its student fees, because of their own students, alma mater, who give enormous gift to their college. And most US colleges thrive on their ex-students. Please remember, you have a duty towards your college, your teachers, your family, and towards your society. And that for that reason, you should have a great compassion. And compassion cannot be developed when I'm 55 or when I'm 60, I will develop. You have to develop the day you start your work. You should be compassionate to your colleagues. You should be compassionate people working under you. And one day you'll become boss, and you should remember how to deal with your subordinates. You cannot rule a person always with the law. You can rule a person always with the heart and kindness. I have learnt it in my company. People today, it's a big market. If you are very strict and arrogant with your subordinates, they will just leave your company and go and get another job. It's a job-driven market. It is not like, they don't get any other job, like 50 years back it was there. Today it is not true. They can stay in your company as long as you are very kind to them, very cordial to them. and you are ready to sacrifice, because ultimately you have to lead by example. No book can tell you how to be successful. It is only you have to lead by example, people will follow, and then you will become a leader. If you talk something and live